Sasha Martinengo.
Storming down the pit lane.
Weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time on balls.co.za.
Here's my home. Don't care what they say. My friends say go. Destroying your soul.
This is Gears on Balls Visual Radio with Sasha Martinengo, and unashamedly, I had to kick Simon Hill out of the studio here because he was actually trying to chat up Louise Carver. What a tonsil. Although he's still my best friend, my new best friend. It's okay. Unashamedly, I am so delighted to have a lady who I think sings like an angel, is incredibly talented, and I was reading just the other day. You won't believe
read?
it. Yeah, not often, Louise, but I was reading the other day in a magazine, I think it was a Cosmo, that it said, if you have a crush and it lasts longer than 4 months, then you actually are in love.
Or a stalker. I'm just saying, putting it out there.
Well, just to let you know, then I'm either in love or I'm a massive stalker, because it's going on 10 years now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's going on a long time. What a
Wow.
pleasure to have you.
Thank you. I'm
haven't
nervous now.
Haven't seen you for ages, and then I see you like twice in 2 weeks.
I know, went to that schmoozy party.
We had a big schmoozy party
Had a
last
good goodie
week.
bag moment there.
Wow,
I
that was a
know.
proper goodie bag.
I felt like Christmas.
I know. I was very impressed when I got home as well. It was a launch for fragrance from Hugo Boss.
I had a nice bottle of wine in there.
Very nice. Haven't had mine yet. Listen, let's get the plug out of the way, because
Okay.
you've just been given a new phone.
I've just been given a new Nokia Lumiere phone,
Oh, really?
and it is very impressive. And your Nokia shop's on the phone, which really suits me.
There we go. But is it the Windows-based one?
Yes, it is.
How clever is that?
I
eh?
know. I've still got to get my head around because I'm not very tech savvy. So I sat
No,
with
don't
the
worry
guys
about
just
it.
now.
Don't worry, because all of these other people over here have iPhones and blah, blah, blah.
But there's
Go-
a reason for that shameless punt. And
Yes.
the punt is that they are taking me on tour for the whole of June and July.
Well done,
so
Nokia.
Yay. So
Well done, Nokia. Very
means a lot
chuffed for
because
you.
we don't have to stay in caravans and eat, leftovers and
Tapas.
then wash up the restaurant. So
Not
it's
so
tough.
cool.
No,
That's
now we can do it in
Not
style.
for a lady of your stature.
No, I
That's
don't
for
like
sure.
it.
No.
I'll have my personal maid come with me on this tour. Finally. And I'll bring my dogs.
See, now that's proper rock and roll. That is rock and roll.
I've
So-
been doing it long enough.
Yes, you have. How long have you been recording?
Well, I got my first deal. It's been over 10 years. I got my first deal at 15, so we'll say no more. But I'm working on my 5th album now.
It's the 5th one.
Yeah, it's the 5th one.
It's incredible.
And, you can clock up numbers, but it's actually results that matter. So you can have 100 albums, and if nothing comes of them, it doesn't mean anything. You've really got to have hits off that album for it to count. And I think I've paid my dues, hopefully.
No, you've definitely
It's been
paid
exhausting.
You
Need a
paid
holiday.
Listen, we'll get on to where you're touring and how you're touring and where you're going and those kind of things.
I've got
But
the Nokia Lumiere Jet.
yes.
They're giving it to me now.
Nice. There we
Thanks
go.
to your show.
So things aren't so bad in Finland after all.
No.
There we go. Nice to hear. I want to go back because besides touring, you also a massive favorite to do launches, to be the guest presenter or otherwise on the big shows, the Samas. I don't know if you were there this year,
Not this year, no. I
but
had
last
nothing new.
year I think you did a collaboration with, was it Parlotones?
Yeah, we did a collaboration, and I presented an award with WHP.
Yes, but I remember because you played your song, and then Khan came in and sang, and it just
Pushed me to the floor, yeah.
it just gelled together. It was one of the most brilliant, beautiful
And
things
it was
I've ever seen.
spontaneous, it just happened on the night.
That's
we
so,
just
so
met
cool.
as we were waiting to get our awards.
That's
No, I'm
incredible.
kidding.
So, of course, as musos do, hey, let's just jam a bit. You
You
know,
got your guitar, I got my piano. Let's
I'll
do
play
this.
the piano. It's not a problem. Tell me about this new single. I played it for the first time yesterday. How you gonna do it?
Yeah,
The strings.
it's actually
are,
all about you.
Well,
I'm asking you
hold
the
on, I'm just
question.
trying to go. Well, it all depends on.
You've got some choices there.
I do. I do have a few
You can
choices.
tie a silk stocking around my neck and place my own pillow over my head if you want to.
Whoa.
Or-
Thank God the air conditioning's just come back on. All right. Well, there we go. At least
No,
I'm not the only one blushing.
No, it is a very big departure in terms of style
Yes.
and content as well. I mean, I've gone to a very dark place, and it happened quite naturally, which is also a bit scary. I like to go there as a songwriter. I think it's very relevant. If you open a newspaper, I mean, there was one radio station that said, I think it's too heavy for us to play, and I thought, and you read the newspaper,
You broadcast news, but you
Yeah.
won't play this.
So
Which radio station?
I'm not telling you.
Name and shame. We're not scared over
No,
here.
no. I think well, they'll get their head around it. They just need a little bit of a push, which that's what agents are for. But
Yeah.
so it's all about this girl whose boyfriend or ex, or even a stalker. This person has been after her for 6 years, and she's convinced he's going to kill her.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, I'm not that
It's only
bad.
so you're 10.
You're 10 and I'm not that bad. Okay.
You passed the 6-year mark. You're off. It's not you.
I started getting heart palpitations. Okay, tell us more. Tell us more.
And she's asking the question, how are you going to do it? And it's not really if he is going to do it or not. It's about how she lives with this fear of being caught. And the production is very much in a massive attack, faithless way. So there's a dance groove behind it, but it's filled out with orchestral sounds, and I've got my piano there. I'm physically playing the piano. So those are things that you don't know. That's why we're taking it on tour, because if you just hear it as a radio track, you think, well, everything's obviously done in studio. But no, I'll always combine the dance groove with live musicians playing and doing cello and me on keys.
The one thing yesterday when I played it for the first time, and I'd pre-listened to it as well, and I said, here's the new Louise Carver single. I said, just listen to the piano and the strings. The strings are incredible. Who
Thanks
played
for
the
noticing.
strings?
Well, we doubled up, so we got a quartet.
Yeah.
And we got, and then because it's expensive to have an 80
Sure.
or a 65-piece orchestra, so we hired people in Cape Town, and they did all the strings, and then we just
Laid it.
layered it. So it sounds a lot fuller than it is, and it cost a wee bit less.
Okay, well, listen, we're going to chat with Louise all the way up. Actually, we'll take over Darren Show. I don't care. This is much more exciting in any case. Let's have a listen. This is the brand new Louise Carver. It is called How You Gonna Do It. I think it's just wonderful. But I'll be very honest. I think everything that you've ever done in my eyes has been wonderful.
Yeah, thanks, Stu. But this one's the first one off my own record label. I left Sony last year very amicably.
Good.
It's just time for me to do it for myself. I think in South Africa, if you've been in the industry as long as I have, you've got all your own contacts. You can
Sure.
outsource your PR and distribution and really make sure that you are as accessible as possible overseas. Whereas if you're with a major record label, often they have to go through protocol, and that can really, you can miss
They
the boat. on that.
stifle you.
They do.
There we go.
But they don't mean to.
No, they don't mean to. It's all just
they've got to go through their
bureaucracy and
bureaucracy.
rubbish.
Yeah.
That's all it
so
is,
now you can act like
unfortunately.
a shark in the
You're
waters.
a free agent.
I'm a free agent.
Which is awesome. So the album, when is that due?
It is due out in end of July.
Oh, brilliant.
So we are mastering and mixing as we speak. I've got people, so I get sent. They're doing it down in Cape Town. So
Who's doing it for you?
well, I've got my two producers, Chris Tuck. And Chris Tuck, interesting side story, he broke Seether into the States when they were still
Stunning,
selling gas.
okay,
So he
yes.
produced their album that got them attention in the
Okay.
States. But he's a very dark character, and he is obsessed with that time of the Massive Attack type music.
Yes,
So, and that suits a lot of the energy in my songs. And then I'm working with a young, fresh, he's a kind of a trance deep house DJ that was dying to go to commercial route. Sent me some of his tracks. I love them, and I said, "Come on board. Let's have a fresh
Stunning.
sound." So I think it's time, when you've been doing this for so long, to make sure that you've got a combination of that wonderful polished sound, and then a bit more raw sound is important to keep
But
it
it's
relevant.
also, what's so great is that you are experimenting and finding new talent, because we do have a wealth of talent when it comes to engineers and producers in the country.
Absolutely, and they're so shut out because there's a little boys club in the music industry where you use the same people that do the idols and you do that stuff, and it's fun.
Oh, and that's been a tremendous success.
He's terrible. Well, Elvis has done very well.
Oh, he's a great guy.
He is.
He's a hell of a
we just
nice
did a
guy.
show. We travelled to.
Yeah.
Where did I go? I went somewhere down south from Durban, and we had a 3-hour car ride together, and it was just fun.
He actually played here for us at our Balls launch.
Oh,
Yeah, he's such a wonderful guy. I bumped into an airport when he had just won Idols at George Airport, and I didn't even know, because I
lived
didn't-
in George.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know what. I don't watch the show. Anyway, and he actually came up to me and said, "Oh, how's it going? Da, 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 I'm Elvis Blue," and then I knew the name. Oh, congratulations! But I didn't know anything
do you
about
know
it.
he's got a pet chicken in his garden?
Really?
No, just see things that you pick up on trips down to Durban.
He's got a double cock. Something like that. Okay.
I'm not sure what you can get away with on the shows. I'm
No,
watching.
no, you can. Don't have to mind your P's and Q's.
Okay,
it's
all
all
right.
okay.
So you
Abby.
can say
Do
cock.
Do you want,
Okay.
Yes. Do you want to say something, John?
Sasha, we had a pet chicken which we raised from a tiny little baby, and it was absolutely tame, but it didn't get on with all the other chickens. And unfortunately, a dog ate it and it was terrible because we were so upset because we'd grown up with this little chicken.
terrible,
and
Dr.
It is
Doolittle.
it's too terrible. I must just tell you, Louise, Sash.
You actually,
John.
you're like the
Yeah.
Green Mile where they tamed that little mouse and then it
Yeah.
got eaten. So you interrupted the natural flow of nature.
As
there.
well as he interrupted the interview. So there we go. Anyway, so that was terrific stuff there, talking about a chicken, Elvis Blue, and
It was meant to be a side little.
Yes, and John raised the chicken, which is just terrific stuff. More from John and other brilliant pearls of wisdom after 2 o'clock this afternoon. End of July. What's the album called? Do you know?
No, last thing that I do is as it's
is-
about
oh,
to go
really?
to press, I just say, that's what the name's going to be.
Wow.
And I think it needs to encapsulate the whole album. And I don't feel there's a rush until it's actually like, now there's a rush. We're going in to print the thing. So
And
get the name.
Did you write everything?
I always do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't collaborate with anybody besides working with your producers?
Yeah,
now?
producers and the guy that's mastering it, which is a very important process, which
Yeah.
for people that don't know, it just lifts the sound of the album, so it's and it stops, like sandwiches in the sound,
Yeah,
basically. So
yeah.
that's a very important process because a lot of detail can be lost in that. So I've got the guy that does the Antwoord and Jack Parrow.
Okay.
He's this little guy in Cape Town that's so humble and he's brilliant. And I've had stuff done mastered overseas because, you know, you think that's what you like
Yeah.
save in the budget. Okay, let's put aside 20,000 to get this thing mastered. And there's this little dude in Rondebosch and he's phenomenal.
That's brilliant to hear.
So he's doing the mastering. In terms of collaborations, I brought in JR to do
Okay.
one track because I like him. He's fresh, he's quirky, and I needed a lighter. Warrior, we were very serious, Zulu Boy and I,
Yeah.
like we are not going to let people overpower us. And now this one is very tongue-in-cheek and very Urkel, kind of circa 1980s. He's doing a very nerdy, old-school MC Hammer
Stunning.
type of rap, so wanted to have fun with it.
I'm really, really excited to hear the whole the album when it comes out. So you're going
Thanks.
to tour?
Yeah, we're doing the Nokia tour, which starts actually Saturday. We're doing 19th of May at the Tant River Deck. So that was a show that just popped up.
Okay.
It's just a new venue. It's a wedding venue overlooking a river in Honeydew in Joburg. And they asked me to come on board. I think Just Ginger did the opening. And that's all on my website. So that's louisecarver.com.
Yeah.
And so we're starting there, and then we'll go all over. We're doing Pretoria, Bloem, more shows in
But are you
Joburg.
starting now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
There'll be a little bit of a break. This show did come out of nowhere, so we thought, well, let's just add it in to the
Great.
Nokia tour. And but then the official kind of tour starts 3rd of June. So it'll be June, July, and we're going everywhere.
So I assume in your tour you're going to play a little bit of your older stuff, but
Yeah.
then featuring a lot of the new the song like we just heard. And
Definitely
then,
that song, but not a lot of the new
Not
stuff.
a lot of the
we'll
new
do
stuff
a
yet.
album tour and live DVD at the end of the year.
Oh, brilliant.
So it's going to be
Jeez, you're gonna
lots
be
of
busy.
fun. Yeah, so that's, you know, and also the music videos, they take a lot out of you. This latest music video was something I've never done before. I mean, I'm in the bus.
Rather sensual.
Well, rather horror movie, very Hitchcock, Psycho.
Well, depends how you look at things.
Okay. For a woman, and I'm stuck in a box for 2 days. Literally, I was in that box for 2 days, and they shot
As good. No, never mind. Never
women
mind.
in boxes. No,
Yes.
shouldn't throw stones or something. I had nothing. I was just there, and I had an amazing crew, and I felt unbelievably relaxed being in the buff.
Did you come up with the idea?
No, I always do have an idea, and then I allow.
Never mind the coughing. It's just, it's just
someone
part
dying
of
in the corner.
Yeah, it's just
No
part of
sympathy here,
the
Balls
part
Radio.
of the authenticity of live radio. Anyway,
Okay.
so tell me about
So can
who
I
ca-
take this call?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
of
that's
course.
so
It's on your new Lumia.
No, I can't. I don't even know how to work it yet.
Okay, no problem.
So,
Okay,
so
so who did you commission to do the video?
I asked a guy called Morgan Dingle from. Don't make fun of that.
I know, it's just
I
so-
could see in your
but
eyes you were going to go there.
Hello, my name is Morgan Dingle. no offense.
He's brilliant, thank God.
Okay.
But I'm sure school days were tough, but he
Must
made
have
it through. But he really is brilliant, and he's done all prime circles and zebra and giraffe. And,
Oh, great, okay.
And then I had an EPK done because we use so many interested. We used a camera called a C300, and for those that care about film, it's the only camera that can shoot exquisite detail in absolute darkness. So they use it for all the horror movies that are shot. So
Oh, brilliant.
I was in a completely blackened out box, and you could see, you saw in the music video, you could
Sure.
see me 100%. There's no.
That's
And it's the
incredible.
first time they've used that in the country to do a music video. So
Well, that's great to hear.
Yeah, so
Innovative, as always.
oh, you just got to do what you got to do. I get exhausted thinking about it, but I've been really lucky that since I left Sony, a lot of sponsors have come on board. So Chat Cellular came on and said we'll pay for the music video. So Luckily, I still have my house.
Well, listen, that's terrific. We
Thanks. I like
unfortunately,
grooves.
we're unfortunately running out of time. But please, I'm asking you now, send us your EPK and all of that
Yes.
kind of
But
stuff.
you should have it in your hand.
Well, is it? Yeah, no, we got it there.
Yeah, there
and
we go.
there we
There's
go.
a very
And we'll put it up on
important-looking
our
blonde person.
balls, and everyone can go and
You
view
put it up on your balls.
We'll put it up on our balls.
Is that your catchphrase?
And it works for me. You know?
Does it though?
It rises up like you have no idea. Louise, it's always a
As long
pleasure
as you
to
can
speak.
keep it up, that's all.
Well, you know, at my age, fortunately, I've John, who's my
35.
my medical physician.
He's fine.
Thank you
Has he
very
had
much.
his examination though?
Yes,
They say
I
after
did.
40.
Yeah. It's not so much fun that, yeah. Louise, it's always a pleasure to
Thank
see you.
you.
I hope to see you performing very, very soon.
You should.
And let us know when the album title is known.
Okay.
And, of course, when
You
it's
can
out.
tweet me and keep.
Yes. No, we will.
I'm
And you can.
surprised as a stalker you haven't been following me on Twitter.
Well, now I'm there.
Well,
Watch them come firing through. Follow Louise Carver. Louise Carver, very simple, on Twitter. And make sure you go and check out her brand new single, which is called How You Gonna Do It, which is just something special. The great thing about Balls visual radio is
Okay.
we can play the song again.
yay!
Isn't that a
So
cool?
no one's going to breathe down your neck.
No one's going to shout at
So you
me.
could play it all day then, if we extended that.
We could. But then, that's pushing it. Louise, great to see you.
Thank you.
Look after yourself. Listen, that wraps up Gears for this afternoon. We'll send you all of the links via social media, also balls.co.za. You can catch the interview with Louise Carver, also with Tasman Pepper from earlier on this afternoon. I'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget DJ Dex at 1:30. Darren and the team. Well, Darren stuck in traffic apparently, but that's purely because he doesn't know how to drive. John Wallen, Simon Hill, Nicole Flint, Maz the Master. As always, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Take care. Ciao, ciao.
Gears on balls.co.za with Sasha Martinengo.
He's kept himself out of trouble.
Weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time.